Do it! See? Stephen King Saturday.
No.
No?
You can't see it. The abuse.
You can't. No, you guys gotta see it. Admit it to the camera.
No.
You already did.
I didn't. I did not hit him.
It's bullshit. I did not. Oh, hi, Mock.
Oh, hi, Mock.
So,
Stephen King.
yeah, we're here. Yeah.
It's not Saturday.
We're here to talk about Shining Vale Season 1.
Oh, okay.
As a Stephen King Saturday. Now, technically, this is not Stephen King. I put on this shirt earlier to do this. But Stephen King did not have anything to do with this, technically. But there is so much Stephen King going on in this show that I can't help but discuss it. We did not take notes. We're winging the whole thing. But we're just going to go for it. And we'll see how that turns out. And just so you know, the second season started yesterday, now that you're seeing this. Tomorrow for us. Yesterday for you. Now we're time traveling, like resetting the timeline. Okay, so Courtney Cox is a writer. If you guys don't know what the show's about, we are going to get into some spoilers as we discuss this show. But for right now, spoiler free till I say. This time I'll warn you. But she is a writer. And her husband and her 2 kids are moving to a new house after some infidelity happened on Courtney Cox's side of things, because she loves them Cox.
Yeah.
I even gave her that name. Courtney I Love Cox. That's her middle name. In case
you name me my middle name, I love.
I love. Like ILUV.
Oh my god.
Courtney I Love Cox.
I would murder my parents.
So yeah, they move to this new place, and of course, the place is haunted. Now, this show definitely, like, I would straight up say that this is essentially a parody, like remake, or just parody. It feels like almost like I wouldn't go to the level of Scary Movie or anything, because it's not that level of slapstick or anything.
Yeah.
But it is in the vein of something like a Scary Movie towards The Shining.
Yeah.
Because Courtney Cox is Jack Torrance.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Kinnear is Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then the kids are, I guess the stand-ins for the kid. But there's 2 of them versus there only being one of them. So, I don't know. I really love the show. I had such a good time with it. This is one of those shows where the characters, they worked so well with their like comedic connection.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. They do.
They play off of each other all so well.
So well. They have a great dynamic. And it is a genuinely, like, it's a really funny horror comedy.
Yes.
But there's some dark stuff that's discussed. Like, there is infidelity, like we talked about. There's addiction, and like sex stuff, other sex stuff.
A lot of sex stuff.
Mental illness and all of that. Yeah. There's a lot of, but I thought that the show was like super fun, and I loved all of the Shining references. I loved the Stephen King like tone, or not tone, but like vibes that it was giving.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like Stephen King at all.
Yeah.
Like, it does not feel like he touched it with his pinky finger.
With his Cox. We watched this weeks ago now.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to season 2 for sure. As far as like, now spoilers obviously. As far as like the Shining references, there's at least 1 or 2, if not more, in every episode.
Oh yeah,
right?
I'm sure there's probably some that we missed.
There's got to be a video. Now I know my buddy Jaime and Fuego from Fuegotainment. He covered this on his channel because he does like a Hail to the King segment on his channel like every week. He runs a Stephen King group on Facebook, and he made a whole video about the connections to King. I did not watch that video, but I am assuming it's thorough because that guy knows King as well as I know freaking, Star Wars, the Halloween franchise, whatever the hell. So definitely check that out. I'll try to remember to link it in the description below. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like their drapes are the freaking carpet, the famous iconic carpet from the Overlook Hotel, and all of her writing, like when Greg Kinnear comes up into the room and she's like, when you hear me typing, or when you hear me don't typing, or whatever the fuck you hear me, like they straight up, it's not like homages. No, it's straight up line for line dialogue at times, line for line, like, and shot for shot scenes. And
it's cool that it's like gender roles, that it's reversed. I like seeing a female character in that position.
Jackie Torrance.
Yeah, and
which is the name of the character in that Jane Levy plays in Castle Rock, right? Jackie Torrance.
Yeah,
isn't that her name?
Yeah, it is Jackie.
And they were like going to go into a season 3 with her in like a mental institution or something.
Yeah,
I think, but they got canceled.
Would have been great.
Anyway, sorry.
No, I like seeing her, because I don't know King as well, but from my memory, like most of his works, like if they involve a writer and an alcoholic writer, like it's usually a male, it's usually a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know of anything where he's had like a female.
He has female
protagonists or female like main characters, of course.
Yeah.
But not this version, and that's fine. Like he used to be an alcoholic and he's a writer, like he's channeling that, but it's obviously women deal with those issues too. And I don't know. I just like seeing her, and I think that she does a great job.
I am trying to think now of a Stephen King like book or movie that doesn't gender swap. That's how it was written, where the main alcoholic writer is female. I don't think that exists. I don't
think it
whether
exists
it's
either.
Tommy Knockers, Jimmy Smits, or Bill Denvro, or Jack Torrance, or I mean, shit, we could go down the list. Yeah. He has one in every movie. Was it The Dark Half or whatever? There's always a writer, 95% of the time.
Yeah.
And just off the top of my head. So, Fuego, if you're here, let us know.
Tell us.
But I don't know, man. A female writer like that, like the alcohol, like the classic alcoholic writer that he's talking about, like that we're referring to here, if that exists as a female, he definitely likes, like he has female characters. Obviously, like Holly Gibney just wrote another book on her, a full book dedicated literally just called Holly. So like it's not like he doesn't write female characters, obviously, or have them as the main character of his books. But as far as like the alcoholic writer trope that he has in so many things, you're right. I don't think a female.
No, I think it's always male. And, her character in this is messed up.
Oh my God.
Like, she is definitely somebody, it's kind of a love to hate, I guess, situation.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
The other thing, this is like a total side note, but I really loved her outfits. I've been noticing that, like, as I get older, I'm not obviously her age at all, but I like will look at characters like her and like these like stylish kind of older women, and I'll be like thinking like, oh, I hope that I like can dress like that or whatever. And I don't have that kind of style at all, but she looks so adult, but like chic and comfy,
distinguished,
and like not,
that's for
but
men.
She's like comfy, like she's wearing like oversized like sweatshirts and like, like nothing, I don't know, I liked her outfits a lot, and I was like, but anyway, she's like so messed up in this. Like her relationship with her daughter is horrendous.
God. Yeah.
Her relationship with her husband is super rocky. They have like these moments where you're like, oh, they're kind of working together, and then she just sabotages it. And the relationship with her son is also not great, but it's like she just kind of treats him like like an annoyance, but just kind of like an inconvenience.
An incompetent toddler.
Yeah.
And that's what he is.
Yeah.
Because he's not getting proper rearing from his parents.
Yeah.
For sure. They enable him and they also hold him back.
Yes.
Which is, part of the enabling. As far as Gaynor goes, their daughter, she is a classic case of a young girl who is not getting the proper love that she wants. And what I really, really love about Gaynor, to gender swap once again, because in every one of these shows that I've ever watched in my entire life, the promiscuous character who's trying to bang everyone in high school, and she meets this kid who's hardcore Christian, and she does literally everything she can. She commits herself to a religion. She gets fucking baptized. She starts going to Sunday school, and she starts, she pledges herself to abstinence and just everything imaginable.
Yeah.
And her intention the entire time, without fail, and she never shies away from this, is I just want to bang this guy.
Yeah.
I just want to bang this guy. How hard is this to just bang this guy?
Yeah.
And she's lying to him to his face, hurting his feelings right and left, and all she wants is to use him for sex, which is going to devastate him, right? That's going to devastate his life. His entire identity is wrapped up in his celibacy.
Yeah, a virginal Christian lifestyle. But she's
But I'm sorry, but all I was trying to say there is that Gaynor's character is always male. Always male. I'll do anything to screw this girl and anything. So for it to actually be a female this one time was very relieving for me as a guy, where I'm like, okay, see? Women can be like this too. It's not just us.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the show is dealing with the hereditary nature of mental illness, and not just the genetics behind it, but also how the upbringing affects how those present in your life. Because her mom, the grandmother, awful, crazy, such a narcissist.
So
oh my god,
bad.
So funny too. That's one thing. This is, and I normally am not the kind of person who likes to watch people being horrible to each other.
No, you're not.
It's not my type of humor, but this show does work for it. And I think because it's done in such a dark way, and it's very self-aware of how awful they are versus something else like The Wolf of Wall Street, where it's I don't know. But anyway, her grandmother's a narcissist.
Totally aware that they're being assholes in Wolf of Wall Street. I disagree. Okay. But it just didn't work for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get it.
But for whatever reason, it works here for me.
Yeah.
Her grandmother's a narcissist.
Because it's females.
Her mom, maybe.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Her mom, is awful as well. And she displays a lot of those behaviors too, because what I was going to say is that even though she's going after this guy, intending to try and shake him and make him sleep with her, her mom will call things out and be like, oh, you can't go do that because you're a slut or whatever. She's just constantly berating her for being promiscuous, and she always acts no, I'm doing this for real. I actually want to go to the church choir and whatever. And I don't know if that's supposed to be a part of her does want that purity and innocence, which is possible, but maybe. I sort of take it as just she's literally lying to herself and to other people.
Sure.
Which is what all the two other women in her life do as well.
She's a pathological liar.
Yes,
right?
All three of them are.
But it's also coming from a place of how dare you hypocrite.
Yeah.
Right? We literally just had to move here. Another thing with this show too is I find it really funny is how candid everyone is about her affair in this movie, in this show.
Yeah, because I think that's
kids,
in real
everybody.
life, right? It would be very uncomfortable,
very
and
hush,
very hard to talk about.
Yeah,
especially if the husband and wife are trying to work through it, and they have teenage kids that know about it and everything.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're all super vocal about it with people that they just meet too. So
yeah. And his friend he makes made me laugh so many times.
Yeah. The friend of, I don't know, we should know their names.
I don't remember. But Gaynor is literally the only name I remember.
I know. So the son makes a friend online, and his dad is who we're talking about.
Yeah.
He's hilarious because his wife cheated and left him too.
Yeah.
But he is so sad and pathetic.
Right. They're supposed to be cuckolded.
Yeah.
Right. And they bond over what cucks they are.
Yeah.
And Greg Kinnear, I mean, his character in this, he really definitely took me for a journey because he loves his wife
so much.
Right? And Catherine, okay,
yeah.
which I do remember that name because they put
Catherine.
such a focus on it. That stuff's really funny. Catherine. But yeah, she like when he finally does something with her.
Yeah.
And then we find out after she's like been blowing her freaking husband and screwing him and taking pictures. Now she was possessed during that.
Yeah, she was.
But she was not possessed with the cappuccino machine guy.
Yeah.
But I remember like I almost fell out of my chair when it was revealed that all he had done with Catherine was kiss her.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's it for everything that Courtney I Love Cox has done to you.
Oh my god, I know. Because I mean, like they go out to this like lunch thing at a winery, and it's like romantic.
Yeah.
And he even tells his wife later, like, I was thinking about like running away with her. Like I thought, like, what if I just do that? Like he's very open about the doubts that he has, but then he's like, you know, but ultimately, like I decided to be here because I want to be with you. Like I like our shit. They, you know, it's like their conversation that they have.
Yeah.
Finding out that it was like just a kiss is like, bro. And she literally has all these like photos of,
oh my god, when she gets sent all that,
so bad.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
The stuff with her agent is funny.
Yeah,
the stuff with the like Stephanie Meyer Twilight writer type girl is funny. The like there's just there, and then of course the whole haunting stuff, right, with the like 50s woman who's like overtly sexual, and she keeps trying to like block that part of herself out. And this does remind me, like you had said, Kaylee actually had reminded me of this did have some similarities to the therapist character in Evil when he is like calling on the devil basically, or like a demon, to write his stories for her, and it's for him. And you know, this comes with a price.
Yes.
And she like screws her husband as herself. Yeah. And man, if you left scratch marks on my back that bad,
God,
dude,
so awful. I really like the way she looks when she gets like possessed and is writing. Like her eyes dilate because, you know, I think that there's enough. I mean, the son is like seeing ghosts, you know, through his like AR like goggles and whatnot, but. Really,
which is very evil as well.
It's very evil.
Evil, the show.
The show.
Great show, by the way.
But, like, she's abusing prescription pills. She has, like, mental illness and psychosis and, like, schizophrenia that runs in her family. Yeah. So there's also, like, definite plausibility that everything could be chalked up to that in some ways, I feel. Yeah. I memean, I'm trying to think about, like, the, like, hardcore definite paranormal stuff that happens.
So you're telling me that
she has like, because I mean that's
you're
why
thinking there's nothing supernatural.
I'm just saying it's possible, but it's also possible that it's not, because I think that they're kind of setting it up like maybe the mom was possessed and that's why she got checked into the mental institution.
Oh my god, the amount of shit she gives her for checking her into the institution.
Yeah, and then for it to happen to her, of course, her daughter checks her in. But I mean, like, yeah, she's going into dissociative like fugue states where she like doesn't remember what she's doing, and she's taking so much of her pills, which her psychiatrist is prescribing her ludicrous amounts. Yeah, and she's drinking. She starts drinking again. You know, so. I don't know. I do find that interesting, but like the son finding, like he finds a skeleton outside, and like the girl in the goggles, like he talks to other people in their like whatever his gaming community, and they're like, "There's nothing like that in this game." Yeah. So that makes me think that it's probably still supernatural.
Yeah, that's a good question though. Is there definitive evidence in this that there's something supernatural going on? That's a good question. We'd have to watch the season again, but that's a really smart question. Is it just potentially all in her head, and she just goes into a psychosis and writes, and has created this character because she's a writer, and she's, you know, brought one of her characters to life in her psychosis? It's a great question. I mean, it's like her sexual repression, and it's being almost like, I wouldn't even be surprised if we find out that like if we see a picture of her mom younger and her mom looks like that chick.
That would be really messed up. Really messed up. But yeah, but so the other thing too, like there's deaths that happen. The mom of the son that Gainer's trying to get with, she does get like
she does screw him too, by the way.
She gets like yeah, she does.
Sorry.
But the mom gets possessed.
Yeah.
Right. So there is that, but she's also like a crazy Christian woman. Like she's like really insane and is like, that house is evil and like all this stuff, right? So it's like that could be real because she literally like falls off of her, gets thrown off of her balcony or whatever.
Doesn't she like get impaled on like a fence or something?
Yeah. So I don't know, like that could definitely be paranormal, but it could also just be a crazy person.
Yeah, it could just be two crazy people, talking about crazy shit, and one of them gets scared and falls.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Gainer screws him.
Oh my gosh.
And just but then he wants to run away with her.
Yeah.
Right, and she's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think ultimately she does care about him, sort of, but I think she cares more about herself because she's just a narcissist like her family.
She wants to just leave for herself.
Right.
It doesn't matter who it's with.
Right, and she'll screw him over.
Yeah.
The first chance she gets.
I don't think that she's a good person.
She will not remain faithful to him. No. And at the end of this season, she ends up getting institutionalized like she did to her mom. I found all this stuff with her bringing up, like the grandma has some really funny stuff where she talks about like how she was put in the insane asylum and that's why she screwed up is because of her daughter, which of course we find out is just not true. Her mom's nuts. And then the scene where like Gainer is being told by her like, oh, you're just like me, you're more like me.
Oh gosh.
And she's like,
yeah, that stuff is like, it's funny because it's like, yeah, you don't want to be like your bad parents, right? Like you don't want those qualities, but like you kind of get them whether you want them or not sometimes. And I just remember too that we do see a picture at the very end because she's going through, it's that shining type picture of the house, and she's like, that's my house, and it's like something home for disturbed women.
Yeah. And
the 50s housewife is in that picture.
Oh, there you go.
So, but that could still be her mom. I don't know what time period it is.
Yeah, so there you go. That could just be her. Like we just think it's someone else in the picture.
She looks like somebody that's like working there, kind of. So I don't know.
I'd have to look at that scene again.
I'd have to look
Good memory on that one. We've watched like I've watched literally like 40 films since I've seen this show. And that's only been like 3 weeks.
I know.
I watched so much shit.
We watched it so long ago.
It does feel like we watched it so long ago.
I'm really excited for the next season. I think it's a super cool show, and just keep watching it. Yeah,
it comes out tomorrow for us.
Yesterday for you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So if you got time, it's a short show. It's like 8 episodes, like 20 some odd minutes a piece, super quick. Yeah. If you're into shows like Santa Clarita Diet or even, I don't know, there's quite a few like horror comedy shows, even like Dolores Roach or something.
Yeah.
Which is the Horrors of Dolores Roach. Mm-hmm. I think it most resembles Santa Clarita Diet, which I'm a massive fan of, and I'm still pissed off about its cancellation, leaving it on some cliffhanger. But that's another show you need to see at one point.
Yeah. Because
Timothy Olyphant is so funny in that show, and the girl who plays Van, the young Van in Yellow Jackets, plays the daughter, and Drew Barrymore, of course, is the lead. But it is super, super funny, and this show's super fun. Absolutely looking forward to watching the newest episode where she's now committed in an insane asylum. I want to know what happens to everybody. So looking forward to that. I wonder if her book got published. Was it finished? Can't remember.
I think so. Yeah, she sent it off.
And she was like, I can't.
No, actually, but then they were like, no, we need this much money. And then they were like, we're taking it elsewhere. And she was like,
Right. So I think now that she's in the insane asylum, they can use that as publicity for like, this book drove her mad. Right.
Yeah.
So, and probably cut her out of the money.
Yeah.
Because she's like, in a committed facility, and they'll be able to like use power of attorney on her or some kind of shit. Anyway. All right, guys, that's that. Stephen King Saturday. It's not really a Stephen King thing, but it is.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Bye.